Disney investors are in limbo as the stock drops. How low can it go as a new CEO gets ready to take over for Bob Iger? We've got answers. And folks, it could be a disaster for Disney. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, one and all, where we heed the call for understanding entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do. Today, we've got a duo. It's me and Jonas J. Campbell joining all of you. And all we ask from you is that you click the like button, drop a comment down below, and how low can it go? Give us your guesstimate. Jonas, no financial advice being given here today, but this is not a great day for Disney.
No, not at all. This is not the kind of thing that you want to see Bob Iger exiting the company on.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to see is that the Disney company dropped below, indeed, $100. In fact, they got as low as $98.64 on this day. And at the time of recording, it's still hovering over here about $100. We don't know if it's going to drop down below. But I need to bring your attention to something else that I think is even more important. And that is, if we go to the 5-year mark right now, Jonas, we are just about at 50%. The Walt Disney stock in the past 5 years has dropped basically in half. And that is, well, a heck of a task for all the shills out there who are defending this company and what's been going on under Bob Iger. You can see if we go back to the era of Bob Chapek, the CEO who was replaced by Bob Iger just had to come back, right? Bob Chapek replaced, but Bob Chapek had this thing at just a smidge under 200. Now we're at $100.05, 3 cents right now. Folks, things are moving rapidly. And Jonas, lest anybody say, well, this is just the way things go. It's the market. It's the broader market. No, the S&P 500 is up 20% essentially for the year. So Jonas, as we get ready to dive into what's really going on with Disney, what are your thoughts on just how Bob Iger, I guess, is exit company on a major low note that I don't think he was prepared to deal with? This is not the legacy the man wants to see.
Oh, no, not at all. The headlines coming into this weekend were Bob Iger is exiting on a bang with Hoppers, the first original Pixar film since Coco to perform on the level that it's performing. I'll say after hearing your review, Pro, and also Wizards and a few others, it doesn't sound like it's actually a quality film. It just seems like enough people showed up at the box office that it's not a shameful waste of money. Well, remains to be seen. I think Bob Iger would really like the narrative to be that he grew this company. Of course, looking at Michael Eisner, it was a 20x return from where he started to where the company ended up, with only one major acquisition, that being Capital Cities. With Bob Iger, he spent billions and billions acquiring other companies, and that value has, for the most part, not showed up in the Disney balance sheet. Pro, how do you buy a $70 billion company and then not add $70 billion to the value of your company?
I feel like this is a very depressing riddle. How do you buy a $70 billion company, Jonas, and not add $70 billion to it?
I don't know. You would just have to ask Bob Iger. Oh, there it is right there, $99.98 while we're recording this video. So
there you go.
Also,
right, folks,
we are covering this story on thatparkplace.com if you want to stay tuned there.
That's right. Folks, let's dive into what's really going on here, because the mainstream, lamestream, going extinct dinosaur media, they don't want to cover this for the first, they don't want to touch it. So there is exceedingly little explaining why this is happening, because it is anathema to what they have said is going to happen. Of course, we here, while we give no financial advice, this is not surprising us one bit. And as we go through the weekend just prior, as Jonas is saying, like, we're not buying into this nonsense about Pixar, about this is a great, this Hoppers is the second worst, adjusted for inflation, Pixar box office debut in the history of the studio. When you consider that it had 4 days instead of 3, which they're hiding as well for their weekend. Here's what's really going on. The Hollywood Reporter just came out with this by Alex Weprin, okay? YouTube lays claim to another crown. It is now the world's largest media company. We cover this week after week with Nielsen, and it's here. The influential financial research firm MoffettNathanson. So who are the investors listening to today? MoffettNathanson. MoffettNathanson is now telling you what we've been telling you, but now that, well, the investors hear this, right? Suggests that the Google-owned video platform passed Disney's media business in 2025. Which means, by the way, that Jonas, how much money did Disney sink into the investment for streaming? How much?
Well, if you go by what they've said, it's been $70 billion on Fox specifically for streaming. They've denied that that was for linear assets. They've put in at least another $9 billion into Hulu, not counting their own shares into Hulu. And I think so far Disney Plus has been $15 billion just on content. I mean, it's very easy to say that they've spent $150 billion in trying to make streaming work at the Walt Disney Company.
Okay, so $150 billion. And here's what they could have done, folks. They could have put their Disney content on a Netflix, and it would have just made money. Or they could have cut a deal with YouTube where Disney is available on YouTube all the time, and it's hosted on YouTube, and they get special preferential treatment or whatever, and they would have just made money. Instead, Disney invested $150 billion, which is basically the entire value of the company, and YouTube has surpassed them. YouTube's cultural influence is already hard to ignore, but 2025 could nonetheless be a turning point for the Google-owned video platform. It's the year it became the world's largest media company. YouTube had more than $60 billion in revenue in 2025, parent company Alphabet reported last month. Now, the influential financial research firm MoffettNathanson runs the numbers and comes to the conclusion that YouTube's estimated $62 billion in 2025 will have allowed it to pass the Walt Disney Company's media business, which generated $60.9 billion last year. That is not including the CapEx stuff, the theme parks, the cruise lines, etc. That means YouTube is now the biggest media company, and it's going to accelerate, Jonas, because if we look up here, the Hollywood Reporter has added this new section between business and international AI. And for all its goods and all its bads and all its vices, AI is about to do something to YouTube. In some ways, it's going to break it. In some ways, it's going to rev it up. But we're about to be in a new era of entertainment, and the democratization of entertainment production is about to be given to the masses across the fruited plains of the US of A. And original independent content creators can now go head to toe to toe, apples to apples, bananas with a bananas Disney company that lost all their marbles, including going fruity too. So, Jonas, it looks to me like this might be a part of what's happening here. Would you say that maybe investors finding out Disney's not the biggest kid on the block could have had something to do with, a stock drop that now is 50%, essentially half in the last 5 years?
I think it's that, and the fact that this company really doesn't have anything new to offer. There it goes above 100. I guess the company's fixed for all the detractors out there. Great news to all of you people who are just looking forward to your next popcorn bucket. The growth potential for this company is questionable at the moment. That is really the problem when it comes down to it. Streaming, maybe that'll hit. It seems like they if there's any gravity as they roll downhill, maybe that will get more subscribers. They're offering discounts right now on that $20 billion revenue segment. Actually, it's 24, but they're only bringing home 1.5 billion of that. The theme parks right now are crowded, but at the same time, they're trying to shift to a market that is very small. The high earners that still want to go to Disney parks for their vacations, and linear television. The less said about that, the better, because it's not an industry that anyone sees as a growth opportunity. I think that Bob Iger is exiting at. You would say he's exiting at the right time, the wrong time, but at least he's exiting, giving this company a chance to at least do something different. But unfortunately, Josh tomorrow's probably just going to do more of the same.
Well, now, Jonas, that's the kind of analysis people can expect from this channel. And if they're subscribed, well, that's wonderful. If you're not, ladies and gentlemen, try to hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate you joining Club Pro right here so you know more than the intelligentsia, the so-called intelligentsia of the world. Benzinga, which is not, in fact, a tower stacking, block falling game, says Disney stock slides to start the week. What's behind the weakness? This is by Henry Kadarian. And Jonas, what are they telling us? Well, if you scroll down, what do we got? The Middle Eastern conflict. Is that what's dropping the Disney stock now, Jonas?
Yes, that does appear to be the issue here. They're saying that this being in its 10th day leads to a slide in the stock price. I guess that would mean that whatever expectations they have about this Abu Dhabi Disney park may be pulling down the share price.
No, Jonas, I think that you're overthinking what they're able to do here. Benzinga, I believe, the 6th day, I don't know what was happening, but it's that darn 10th day. If you'll scroll down, Jonas, I think Benzinga this is just me guessing, but I bet Benzinga is going to tell us, yep, it's oil. It's oil. Jonas, it's not that Benzinga is not smart enough. Oh, we love our friends at Benzinga, but they don't think about these things the way we do, okay? They're not worried about the theme park. They think that the price of oil is going to stop people from going to Disney World and Disney Cruise Lines. It's going to make driving those ships around more expensive. And, that might be that the ships are more expensive. But this is what they're trying to come up with to explain away why the stock is dropping. It's oil, Jonas. It's oil. Texas tea.
What an amazing idea. The idea that within the last 2 or 3 days that the price of gasoline went up, and that's why people who have been booking their Disney vacations months in advance, that's why the stock price is going down right now. I will say, in credit to the Disney company right now, they've sold out 7 days worth of Lightning Lane Premier Pass, which is a $450 per ticket offering at their parks. So those people, I'm going to say, are not so worried about the price of gasoline.
Jonas, if we go down that second paragraph, what does that say? G7 officials, we're getting G7 into Disney now?
G7 officials were also reported to be discussing a coordinated release from emergency oil reserves, a signal investors often read as potential fuel price volatility.
Thank goodness we can save Disney World with the G7 release of emergency oil. That's going to do it. That's going to do it.
That is an amazingly short-term strategy that, whatever, I don't need
What else we got, Jonas? What else? Yeah. What does it say the rest of the reasons are? I mean, it's dropped by half. Hold on just a second. Hang on just a second. If we go here, what's the excuse for the rest of the, 4 years and 11 months? I don't know. Okay, let's go back to you. What do you got? Show us what they say.
We've got cruise fuel costs, geopolitical risks. Okay, maybe. Higher travel costs threaten Disney theme park attendance. I don't think that that's something that they're directly concerned about. And let's see here. Bottoming near 81.72 in spring of last year, peaking to around 124 in late summer. That's still on the lower side of the average ranges here. That's not a well-performing company right there. I would say that people might be questioning the creative engine of the Walt Disney Company and questioning what can fuel the flywheel of products and brands that are going to be supplying the merch drops and theme park attractions of this company.
Frankly, I'm disappointed in you, Jonas. I'm disappointed because the experts are telling us that it has to do with oil. And it just happened, the oil. And that's what's dropped this stock so much, okay? And here you are telling me that no, it has to do with the fact that the movies are not performing like they used to, and Hoppers is not really a success, and people are nervous about Pixar. And I'm here telling people that YouTube is, now the dominant media platform and could accelerate, and the democratization of content creation has destroyed the gatekeeping system in studios, and Disney's a big part of that. We're just a bunch of schmucks, Jonas. We're going against the grain for the sake of making it rain on those poor mouse-eared fans. Why are we so mean, Jonas? Why must we be such disappointments out there and making such noise about a company that clearly is just being affected by oil, says big media?
Well, I think it's that they haven't made the right popcorn bucket for me or my family, and so therefore I'm disillusioned with the Walt Disney Company.
Folks, we've been holding back that origin story for years. Now you know what actually sent Jonas down this spiraling path.
When are we going to get the Wuzzles popcorn bucket that Disney fans deserve?
That's right.
Probably not under Bob Iger.
Butter Lion, or whatever your name was, the lion with little butterfly wings. Come on back, buddy. Come on back. Ladies and gentlemen, will the stock come back? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. We're not going to put up such nonsense as, hey, day 10 of the Middle Eastern conflict, the oil, thus Disney stock drops. No, we're not going to do that to you. We've been talking about this for years now. We've been telling you what's slowing the gears down at the House of Mouse. And Josh D'Amaro, the new CEO coming in, got his job cut out for him. 50% half is about where we are, 48.65 right now. It can go above and below 49. We're rounding it up to 50. About half of the value of the company gone in the last 5 years under Bob Iger. And I think that's something that people need to be talking about. Investors should know it. You should know it. Now you do. Folks, if you like this kind of content, you'd like more of it, consider clicking the like button. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Join a community dialogue. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, well, remember, it'll make your parents happy if you do so. At least that's what I've been told. Until the next time, with the joy, the pleasure, the privilege of spending time together, Ladies and gentlemen, keep learning, keep growing, listen to Jonas, and keep having fun. Go Wuzzles!
So, I see you've stooped to a new low.
A new low? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on a new high. I'm flying on sunbeam light. You might say I have sparkles and protons in my eyes.
Right. Well, everyone's gonna see straight through this. Packing Protons gives the Pro Channel a ton of money to watch terrible movies and, well, you want in on it.
Yeah, and your point?
It's obviously a grift. It's blatant. It's cardboard and Sharpie. It's over the top.
It's so me.
Yeah, it's very much you.
And do you know the best part?
No.
I actually love bad movies. They're all I watch. I could sit lifelessly with joy watching these things, and packing will pay me money to do what I already enjoy into the wee little mornings of every day. Ah, sweet birdemic and garbage pail kids back to back. I know one little troll who's not gonna sleep tonight.